So most relationships today start on dating apps. It is the default way that people meet. If you're single right now, it's likely how you will meet your future wife. But if you half-ass it, you're going to get half-ass results. So we're going to go over exactly how to start dominating on Bumble. This is based on all the tests that I've ran and the guys that have helped, different studies and information directly from Bumble themselves. Now, Bumble does work differently than other apps like Hinge. Women message first. Matches expire pretty quickly. There's also the Discover page, which is kind of like Hinge's standouts, except it's free. So you shouldn't use it exactly the same as other apps, but let's start with the prompts. So imagine you're on a woman's profile right now. You scroll down, you see the first prompt, and she says how she's ambitious, how she values communication, and how she loves spontaneous road trips. Your reaction isn't going to be very strong. You'll be like, okay, like, cool. But if she instead happened to mention a band that you happen to love, a place that you happen to visit, or a hobby that you really enjoy, you're going to actually get a reaction from that because it's relevant to you. And that's the basis of a good prompt. It's actually like putting out a bunch of little hooks that could hook the right person. It's not about, trying to appeal to everybody. But I have this prompt builder here. The important part, you don't have to use it. It is free in my community if you want to join. But the main thing is the questions inside of it. So let's go to the first one. So you can just read these and hopefully it will spark something. But so I'll use what's something you're learning or excited about. This is actually true. Obviously, you want to have it be true because then there's an easy way to spark a conversation about something you know a lot about. So I've been learning more about cameras lately. I'd like to upgrade mine. And here's the results that I get. I'm a nerd about, you choose this prompt header, researching for my next camera upgrade and scouting for the perfect golden hour light. That's kind of generic. You can also regenerate it. Let's do that. Camera gear and sensor specs. I'm in the deep research phase for an upgrade, so that's a little bit better. It's just mainly giving it kind of a framework to work off of. Sometimes it does really well. You can just copy the answer and put it in. Other times you might have to tweak it a bit. It's mainly about this prompt header too. And the thing with Bumble is they don't allow long prompts. So you might not want to combine too many things. You could just literally say, I said this in the last, I think I spelled that. No, I spelled it right. I said this in the last one about astronomy. You just say one word. And this is basically what I said before. I'll point out to the constellations and tell you exactly why Pluto was robbed. Let's go stargazing sometimes. I like that. Let's go to the next one. So what's something you would love to do together with somebody? And I thought about this and I actually just thought of a prompt, like straight up. Take a late night walk with hot chocolate in hand down Fort Langley, because it's kind of like a cozy thing. It's also something relevant to me, a place that I like to visit, a place that's nearby that could spark a conversation, maybe different places that we like to go there. And yeah, that's pretty good. Let's go to the last one really quickly, daily life. What does your perfect Sunday look like? Again, I basically came up with the prompt myself off of that question, but let's see it. My perfect Sunday includes strolling with Dash Puppy and heading to big family dinners. Also extra seat if you can handle the chaos. That's not bad. And also, I'll just show you this note. I don't want to get too deep into it, but if you are mentioning something relevant to you, like you enjoy reading, that's good, but it's not going to really hook somebody because it's kind of generic. You could say a specific genre, that's better, but if you can say an author, that can actually grab somebody. And it's very easy to think that this wouldn't work because you say something very, very niche and there's not a lot of people that happen to really like that band that practically nobody listens to. But the thing is, the apps are actually really good at this. It's probably the best thing about them is that if you say that you love trains, you're probably going to match with somebody at some point who loves trains as well. And I've proved this. I've got 2 matches with the astrophysicist, which is very, very uncommon. There's not a lot of astrophysicists in Vancouver who are also women, who are also in the age range, who are single, where we both find each other attractive enough. And yeah, it's pretty cool. But you have to actually share those types of things about yourself. Now for settings, first thing is you turn off best photo because the first picture is most important because it's what people judge on whether or not to actually swipe or whether to actually scroll down. So it should be a clear face shot. If this is on, it's going to test all of your pictures in that first slot. And that's a problem because not every picture is meant to be a clear face shot. If it's one of you climbing some mountain or rock climbing or whatever, that's a good picture, but it's not a good picture for the first slot because nobody's going to actually do anything with that. Nobody's going to swipe on it. Next, make sure you're verified. Takes no time to do. Interests are self-explanatory. Causes and communities. I'd probably skip this unless there's one that's super important to you. For qualities, I think this is just completely useless. I mean, like fill it out, but it's just generic because most people would say most of these things about themselves. Now, for opening moves, I think this is smart. Someone may like you, but they don't know how to actually start a conversation. So here are the three things, or the three ones that I use. It's kind of like prompts. It's just helping them say something that could be a good conversation starter. Now, for all the details, I've tested this on a recent video, but my matches would tank anytime I tagged on anything like something casual. Seems best to just decide first what you actually want and then just choose exactly that. Also, I think connecting your Spotify is smart because that can also spark a conversation. Now, the single best use of somebody's time for improving their profile is to get better photos. That's really it. And if you happen to look better in the mirror than you currently do in your pictures, there's room for improvement. You can absolutely bridge that gap. So if you have nothing right now, like absolutely nothing, I'll link a video below that goes over some very quick ways to get some decent ones. But this video is about dominating dominating Bumble. So you want to know that number one, focal length matters a lot. And you can see here how much it skews your face. If you're using your selfie camera, that's equivalent to like 22 millimeters, which is like really low. If you use the rear camera and you zoom in 3x, that'll be around 80 millimeters, which is much better. And I think that's actually what most photographers use for portraits. Number two, because it shows off your vibe, a talking head video like this, when done properly, will always perform any picture just because it shows off your vibe, just because people are swiping, it grabs their attention, they never see it before. It can be tricky to do right, to actually learn how to talk in front of the camera a bit. But if you do it right, you'll start getting comments like these. And, I get probably 5 times more comments and attention on my video than any picture I've ever had in that first slot. And number three, the best way to improve your pictures is to just get feedback on them. And ideally not from anybody you know, because they'll probably be too kind. Ideally not from men, although the community we have is pretty good at offering the right advice, but from actual women. And I've been working on a tool lately, and basically 20 women of your preferred age range or ethnicity will rank your photos and review exactly which ones they think are the best, which are the worst, and why, which is very, very helpful. And yeah, I've ran a few tests on this. It's been super informative. Talk about a little bit more about that soon. Now for the search settings, it's just like the type of woman that you want to see. Go to the people page at the bottom of the app, then click on the thing at the top right. It's a little dial thingy. Personally, I think you should start with fairly relaxed filters. Like for age, my take on it is that if my profile is only going to get shown so many times per day, I don't want it shown on people who are less likely to match with me. So I'm 36. This is what I currently roll with, which seems to be working okay. Now, one thing I like about Bumble is they integrate your likes into your feed pretty quickly. So if you haven't been using it for a while, like if you haven't right now, open up Bumble and you'll notice within the first 10 profiles, usually there'll be a match or a potential match where if you say no, it'll get a little thing at the top left that will say you missed somebody. And I'll do it right now. That's just, probably can't see it, but that's a no. Oh my God, I actually know that person. No. Oh, first moves are evolving. Oh, first moves are evolving. Now after a match, anyone can send the first message. Well, oh, do I have to remake this video? Shit. Can you see that? No. Anyways, okay, so that's interesting. Let me just keep swiping. Well, I mean, I think that's a yes. That's a no. Oh, there we go. Got a match. Still can't see that very much. Oh, she sent a super swipe. I've never got a super swipe before. Yeah, and it says, fuck, you can't see shit. But 72 hours to start matching. So they've actually been changing this. Anyway, I'll look at that later. But something else I like is their Discover page. As I mentioned earlier, it also just shows you some profiles. Not a lot, just a few that are actually more relevant to you based on your swiping history and everything. Now for messaging. My response rates have always been much higher if I go to their profile, look for something to bring up and ask about it, like something in their photos, their job, their school, some hobby, ideally something relevant, just because if I know that place or if I enjoy that hobby, that can actually spark a conversation, which is best. But the main thing I didn't realize is how most of my dates would end up coming from a single evening of chatting, not like we're talking like an email where I say something and then it takes her a day to respond back. And then she says something and it takes me a day to respond back. Ideally, it's not always possible because you're both busy. But if you can have an active conversation, it definitely helps. It's like how you can actually like build a connection with somebody just because it's like in real time for the most part. And I definitely encourage that. Also, I was just talking to this about somebody, but on the apps, there are yes women and then there are fence sitters. Yes women are motivated to meet. It doesn't matter. You can ask really quick, basically. They're just motivated to meet somebody and you came up at the right time. And then there are fence sitters. And fence sitters feel like you have to convince them to meet up. And these can massively drain your time, especially for some guys that don't get a lot of matches. It could just be the tendency to try to make the matches that they have work. But really, that time should be spent more on volume, on reps, on swiping more, or even getting another app to use and swiping more on that. That's really a volume game. Don't fall in these traps of trying to convince somebody because, I mean, really, if the person that you end up liking matches really well with you, that you can potentially date long term, they're probably not going to be the ones who, had to be convinced to go out with you. Now, on that same note, it's also why a date should be suggested rather quickly. Like maybe a dozen exchanges of messages. I don't count it, but if I had to guess, that would probably be around the average for me. I just say like, we should grab a drink early next week, or, let's grab a coffee Tuesday or whatever. If you're nervous, which is like completely expected and completely normal, I think the average amount of first dates for a guy in the US is like 4, like in their lifetime. That's very, you don't have a lot of experience with that, especially talking, directly down at somebody at a table. Your focus, if you haven't been on many, is going to be on like, how do I keep the conversation going? Because that's actually like a pretty hard thing, especially if you're with somebody who's a bit shy. But the best thing that I think you can do is to use an activity date as your first date instead. So mini golf, bowling, axe throwing, the arcade, whatever it may be. It's just so much more chill because your focus is on doing something, and then you can like actually comment about how poorly you're playing mini golf or how poorly she is and joke and that. And it's just a lot more chill. It's a lot more chill, a lot easier to just be yourself, less pressure. It's just better. Now for the subscriptions, I think they're worth it if your profile is already converting reasonably well, maybe like at least a match per week, ideally 2 matches per week, because you're paying for visibility. It's kind of like a multiplier, but if you're getting, any number times 0, it's still going to be 0. So at least get it to the point where you're getting 1, ideally 2 matches per week. If you do try them, I suggest starting with Premium Plus just to like see how much of a difference it can make. And the nice thing is too, at least once per month, they offer a discount. This is true for pretty much every dating app that I've used. Once per month, they'll give you, 50% off at least one of their subscriptions. So you might just want to hold out and try that if you want. Now, to do really well on Bumble, you have to be on it every single day. I mean, it takes like 5 minutes to send out your likes. And if you get a conversation from that, great. It takes longer, but that's exactly what you're wanting. But literally all of them, Bumble and Match Group and everybody, they said that it is the number one factor for success on their apps because they want to reward those people, those who are actually doing the things that reflect somebody who's motivated to meet somebody. They don't want to show the profiles that are dead, that nobody's using, or they're just like never responding to matches or anything like that. And yeah, it doesn't take that much time to do. Also, if you happen to be new to the apps, to not get discouraged, you have to realize how many, like the rejection rate is like 95% on average in terms of sending out your likes. And then for the matches themselves, it's like, if I recall, 10% of matches lead to a date for the average guy. So if you don't know that, you could get very discouraged by it. And I get a lot of comments on my videos of like somebody saying that they installed it for a week, got no results, and then uninstalled it and then just say like, okay, dating apps are a scam and they're bad and they're failing. It's like, you haven't even tried. And this is like a very, very important decision. This is a very important thing. This is, you know, the potential mother of your son that you might find. And just giving it a week, like you haven't even got, like, your profiles are almost always shit in the beginning. They're going to be bad. And, but if you focus on it, a month it's going to be better. A month after that, it's going to be better than just the volume of liking profiles. You can't, you can't do anything in a week. Sometimes it can do really well in a week. But for the most part, it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's not really that much effort. Like, if even a bad profile, if they swipe every single day, they're going to get some attention. Now, if you generally do want to find that person, join the community below. It's free. I review every single profile that gets posted. All of it is all hidden from Google. You have to manually accept every profile. I just want to keep it private, so people feel comfortable enough to share their pictures in a profile. But otherwise, I hope that helps. Go start dominating Bumble. I'll talk to you again in a few days.